What's up, everybody? On today's show, our SEC Player Series continues. And today we stop off in Auburn, Alabama, as we're talking with Jayson Jones of the Auburn Tigers. How good can Auburn be in 2024? Locked On SEC starts right now.
You are Locked On SEC, your daily podcast on the Southeastern Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what's up, everybody? Welcome into Locked On SEC. It's great to have you guys along. I'm Chris Gordy. Thanks for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. Shout out to everydayers. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network covering your team every day. And as we dive right into this, we get started talking with our buddy Jayson Jones. He is an Auburn Tiger, expecting big things at Auburn this year, coming back on that defense. Jayson, welcome in, man. The grind of the summer months is getting hotter out there, so you know what that means. It means the season's getting closer.
Oh, yeah, a whole lot closer. I'm really excited for what we can and we are going to bring to the table this season.
I want to talk about this team and how things are going to look this season, but I want to rewind a little bit with you as we our audience gets to know you. A high school recruit back in 2020, coming out of the state of Alabama. You end up going to Oregon. What went into the thought process going out to the West Coast? And then what ultimately brought you back home to the state of Alabama in 2022?
The funny thing is, I don't really like to bring this up around here, especially a lot of people know that I was committed to the University of Alabama originally, but I saw what Mario Cristobal was building at Oregon, and I want to be a part of that. And I believed in his process and again what he was trying to build and bring to the Pac-12. So I saw the vision. He took a chance on me, and I'm glad he did. I can't give him enough thanks and praise and everything like that. But it's kind of weird because, when you enter the portal, you're kind of taking a leap of faith. And when I entered the portal, I didn't know who was going to come after me. And lucky enough, like a lot of SEC schools came after me. Obviously, I'm from Alabama, from Birmingham area, Ole Miss, Alabama. A whole bunch of people came after me, but I decided to pick Auburn mainly because of the atmosphere, the fans, and just the school in general.
Yeah, and it's been fun to watch you in an Auburn uniform. You've been holding down that nose tackle spot the last couple of years. What did you like most about making that transition from going from playing in the Pac-12 to the SEC? Because man, every week in the SEC, it's SEC caliber offensive lineman. Yeah. It's a tough go every week.
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest differences, one of the differences that I loved is that the physicality was so much better. I'm not saying the physicality in the Pac-12 was bad, but like it is kind of night and day when you look at it and when you feel it too. I think people here are really trying to flip you on your head, if you know what I'm saying. So physicality is different. I feel like the game speed is a little different too. It's different in different ways. I don't know how else to explain that, but Pac-12 is different game speed, and the SEC is different game speed. So. I think those two are like the biggest changes from the Pac-12 to the SEC.
I got to think too, being back in the state of Alabama, a lot more family and friends at your games, right?
Truthfully, yeah, a lot of them, a lot of them.
It's kind of a blessing and a curse though, because then that means you're getting more texts about, hey, can you give me tickets? Hey, can you hook me up?
No, I love it because at the end of the day, they're just trying to support me.
Yeah. Well, look, we're going to show for those watching our YouTube page. We'll put up some pictures on as we roll along of you in an Auburn uniform. And I showed this picture to a buddy of mine earlier today. And he said, "Is that like an ad for something? Like you're the prototypical SEC defensive lineman if you just have watched your film and watched looked at pictures of you in action." But as we get going here, I want to talk a little bit about some of the changes this offseason. DJ Durkin comes in, takes over as defensive coordinator there at Auburn. Very accomplished defensive mind. Obviously, was very, had a very good, did a very good job at Ole Miss and Texas A&M the last couple seasons. What's it been like getting to know Coach Durkin so far?
One thing that I know about him is he's extremely smart and he just doesn't care. I tell people all the time, like he'll show 3, send 7, show 7, send 3. So you really don't know what you're going to expect that week because every single week is going to be something different. And I just feel like he brings that aggression. And even the people around him, like Von Trail, the new defensive line coach, and Aldridge, and just everybody around him allows him and that enables him to have that, aggressive of a defense, So just Durkin again. I love the defense that he runs, and I'm excited for this season.
You guys also added Coach Kelly, Charles Kelly, coming in to help coach the safeties, and he gets the title as co-DC. Of course, he's an Auburn alum himself, played back in the 80s under Coach Pat Dye. What's kind of been the vibe with Coach Charles Kelly being in the room?
Well, most definitely. Again, he's very experienced, and he knows what he's talking about, and nothing beats experience. He's been in the game for a long time. He's played it. He's seen it. He's done it. So he brings that to the table.
Of course, the third guy I wanted to bring up, you mentioned another change. Coach Vontrell King Williams, defensive line analyst last season, so a guy you're familiar with, but taking over as the defensive tackles coach in the spring. I've seen pictures of him. He looks like a guy who just means business. What's Coach Vontrell like?
No, I mean, obviously when it comes to football, it's business is business is business. Like you gotta do what you gotta do. But off the field, he's really cool. Like he relates to all of us and understands all of us. And I think that's one of his best traits. And that's one of the best traits that you can have as a coach too, is understanding your players.
Hey, more with Jayson Jones here in just a second. But first, passion, drive, and patience. It is the formula for winning championships. It's also what keeps your car, your ride or die alive. eBay Motors is everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance, whether it's superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. And whether you're into speed, power, style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you're always going to find exactly what you're looking for. And with that eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car into the MVP and bring home huge victories. Go keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. It is ebaymotors.com. Continue our conversation with Jayson Jones, Auburn defensive lineman. And Jayson, we've been talking about some of the new faces on the coaching staff on the defense. And what's been so impressive to me, to you guys as a unit, is despite all these defensive changes the last couple of years, I mean, the defensive unit at Auburn has really been a bright spot the last few seasons, whether that was under Jeff Schmedding in 22, Ron Roberts in 23, and now DJ Durkin. Defense has been really solid. How hard has it been for you personally adjusting to all these different defensive styles and schemes and playbooks?
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's all the same stuff. Now, obviously, there's different terminology and how you say stuff and how you go about stuff. At the same time, it's all, if you learn how to categorize stuff, like categorize different words and different meanings, it's all the same stuff, whether you go from defense to defense. And that even goes back to me going back to Oregon. It's the same stuff from Oregon to now. So it's just different terminology and different wording.
Yeah, and that's really it's not like foreign concepts to you, but you go, oh, okay, I get what that means when it's a gap or whatever, you're crashing, whatever. Like it's just for learning what the term of this coach is versus the last one, right?
Yes, yeah, exactly. See, you got it, yeah. See, you understand. You understand.
Yeah, I'm not a coach, but I play one on YouTube. Over the last 2 seasons, Jayson, at Auburn, give me your most memorable moment so far. Whether it was a big individual game for you or just an overall team win, what stands out most?
I think one of my favorite wins was definitely the 2022 Texas A&M game when we were 3-5, and I honestly, when there's losing teams, a lot of the fans don't show up. But that game, even though it was like 40 degrees, freezing our butts off, everybody showed up. It was a packed house. Everyone was there from the beginning to the end, and that really showed me like how much the fans really care about us.
What's it been like getting to know Coach Hugh Freeze? Obviously, he's a guy he's won everywhere he's been, basically, and there's a lot of excitement. Obviously, you got to get in and you got to build your foundation, and it takes a little bit of time to build that culture up. But a lot of people thinking, he's off and running this year. What's it been like getting to know Coach Freeze, and how much do you like playing for a guy like that?
Yeah, Freeze. Again, you pretty much said he's won everywhere he's been, so his process works, and his method works. So two things I would say. One thing is just give him time. Things aren't gonna just happen right when you want them to. And the second thing is, if the players believe in him, if the coaches believe in him, you should believe in him. He speaks nothing but the truth to us, and that was his biggest thing this year, is speaking the truth. and just helping us become better men, not just football players.
It's going to be real interesting to see, again, another year of this offense and this system with Payton Thorne getting more comfortable and that sort of thing. I want to talk on you a little bit more. You announced your decision to return for another season back in January. I know you kind of felt like there was some unfinished business left there, but given how last season ended, obviously, look, the devastating finish against Alabama, everybody knows about it. It's been talked about a million times. But then that compounded with the bowl loss to Maryland. I just got to think the way last season ended just kind of left a bad taste in your mouth, and I'm sure that factored into your decision. Hey, I got to go back and we got to finish this thing strong.
Definitely, and I wasn't the only one. I wasn't the only one. You can look across the defense and look at everybody who also decided to stay, and those two losses really did it to me. But you can't harp on what happened in the past. You can only control on what you do in the future. So we're gonna move better. We're gonna do better. We're gonna play better. Simple as that.
Just curious your reaction. Look, that Iron Bowl rivalry runs deep, and we'll see what Coach Kalen DeBoer does. And again, he's a guy who's coached very well and won a lot of games. But what was your reaction? Where were you when you heard Nick Saban's retiring? He's done in college football.
Yeah, I don't really remember where I was at. I just remember thinking that it was a joke because I thought people were playing with me. So I don't really remember where I was at, but I remember I thought it was a joke.
Yeah, I think we all kind of felt that way. Even some of his players, it was like, wait, what's happening?
There's got to be some little off-brand April Fool's thing, But
and look, I know this. Look, Bama they're loaded again. They're going to be really good again. But it does. I think everybody across the SEC, not a Bama fan, kind of took a collective. Okay, the greatest coach of all time is gone. Now maybe everybody we don't have to deal with him anymore. You know what I mean? So I think we all kind of said, all right, let's move on, and we'll see what happens here. And speaking of that, let's talk about what you saw to your team in the spring. I want to talk a little bit on the offense. Payton Thorne is back at quarterback, obviously, along with Holden and Hank and Walker White added to the mix. But you guys add a bunch of more talent to the offensive side. Of course, the freak freshman wide receiver Cam Coleman, I think, was grabbing headlines every day throughout the spring. But Robert Lewis in there, Keandre Lambert-Smith. And then some guys who are back, obviously running back Jarquez and Rivaldo Fairweather at tight end. What did you see out of the offense this spring?
I think this spring, this is the best since I've been here, them playing together. I feel like we had a lot of individuals trying to play individually, saying that I got to go make this play. I got to go do this. I got to go do this. Instead of just working collectively as a team, trying to work towards one goal. And I think that they've done an amazing job of doing that this spring, because it really showed in their play. And you guys also saw it in the spring game with a lot of big plays. And if we can build off of those big plays in the game, we'll be very, very successful.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see. And, I think the word last year on offense was just inconsistent. We saw flashes, but like you said, kind of getting that big C word, chemistry, and everybody on the same page and moving the rope together. And it's going to be a lot of fun to see what happens. Let's talk about the defense. We'll start on that D-line. Trill Carter coming over, Gage Keys coming over. You got Keldrick Falk, who was, awesome as a freshman. We're moving to his sophomore year. Deron Reed, Zy Walker. Y'all got some dudes on that D-line. What'd you see from this group so far?
Obviously, we've added two more people, which is Isaiah Rakes, and we also added Philip Bleedy.
That's right.
But this in the spring, even without them, I've seen us really a whole lot more aggressive and a whole lot more physical. I also believe that we showed a lot of great signs that obviously you guys are just going to have to see. We played extremely well together. And again, it feels like a brotherhood. I feel like just overall as a team, I just feel like we've all, even that's from the corners to the wide receivers, from wide receivers to the D-line, to the quarterbacks, I just feel like we're all together, and I feel like we put the selfish stuff aside, the individualism aside, and just if we want to get to a goal, if you want to reach this, if you want to win an SEC championship, if you want to win, if you want to get to the playoffs, you have to play together, and that's just point blank period.
Yeah, and I was going to bring that up. I mean, sometimes as a player, selfishly, you want to be in on every down. I'm not coming out of the game, whatever. But sometimes the best units are the rotational units where Jason's in on first down. He comes out in second. Oh, but he comes in on big third down, gets a sack. Sometimes that rotation keeps you fresh legs, and you keep attacking with different guys.
I'll speak on that too. I mean, you don't want to go into SEC play with 5 D linemen. That's hard. We did that. We did that actually. If you want to look back 2022 Alabama game, unfortunately one player got injured and we were only left with 3 people. It was me, Marcus, and Morris Joseph. Oh no, it was Marquise Burks. It was just 3 of us the whole time. So you want to have guys that you can rotate and trust to put in there. I want to go into war with at least 9 people because that's 3 rotations right there. No one's getting tired,
Yeah, you got to have depth in this league. And again, when injuries happen and guys got to leave the game, it's like suddenly, hey, you can't come out of the game because we don't have anybody else. And it gets tough, man.
Man.
Let's talk a little bit more on the let's talk linebackers. It's funny. I will look at the depth chart. I see senior. There's a lot of senior leadership there, and obviously led by Eugene Asante, your returning tackler from last year. Austin Keys back, Jalen McLeod, some talented freshmen behind them. Linebacker seems like this is going to be a strength again for you guys.
Yeah, most definitely. And Eugene's energy that he brings every single day is very contagious. When he gets hyped, then we all get hyped. So I'm glad that he's back. I'm glad that Keys is back. He's a phenomenal player. Dorian, I can't wait for y'all to see Dorian. Oh my God, just freakish athlete. Jalen McLeod, same thing. Like I just think that we're in for a really, really good season. And I'll even go to the DBs too. I'll even go to the DBs too. I mean, you want to go to Keontae, and we're also a young group. We want to talk about Terrence Love. You want to talk about just all these amazing DBs. Again, they're young, but again, they're really passionate on what they do, and they work extremely hard.
One more segment with Jayson Jones as we continue our player series, stopping off at Auburn. And we've been talking a little bit about this defensive unit heading into 2024. I love what you guys got going in the secondary. Keontae Scott coming back is huge, but Kay and Lee got some playing time last year. Jaron Thompson coming over from Texas, Caleb Wooden, Champ Anthony. Coach McGriff's got a squad back there now.
A really good squad, too. A really, really good squad. Very gritty, and they go get it after every single play. If you turn on the film, you see them running to the ball, and that's the type of team that you want to be a part of.
All right, let's get into it, Jason. What do you make of how the schedule sets up for you guys? When the schedule came out, I'm like, wait a minute, this can't be right. 5 games at home to start the season. I mean, it's pretty cool. You guys don't have to leave Jordan-Hare until the calendar turns to October, but a real opportunity here to rack up some wins and really come out of the gate strong this year.
Yeah, most definitely. But obviously, I'm going to shoot high. I want to go 12-0. That's the goal, and that should be everyone's goal, no matter what program you're in. And I'm not going to shoot for anything less than that. I mean, we had the squad to do it. We just have to do it, and we had to keep on with the process.
You guys do get a tough road stretch in October. 3 straight games on the road at Georgia, at Mizzou, and at Kentucky. Obviously, look, it's a long season to go, but I just want to get your perspective on this. What's the best road environment you've played in so far in your career?
What do you mean by best? What do you mean by that?
However you want to define it. The loudest, the most rockin', the one that just was the nicest stadium. However you want to define it.
In the SEC?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really recall one. I mean, I know Kyle Field was pretty loud, especially towards the middle of the game. That's about it, really. I mean, just Kyle Field really shook me.
It's kind of funny. You probably define it with, hey, what's the best environment? Well, where did we win on the road? It's like you associate, man, that was a cool environment. And hey,
for me, I don't really let the crowd, I don't let the environment really get to me. So a lot of times I don't really realize I guess you can put LSU in there too. You can put Death Valley in there too. It was pretty intimidating, but I really don't let that stuff get to me. I mean, that stuff it's just not something that you should let get to you, in my opinion. I don't really focus on that stuff.
Yeah, that's what I always say. It's funny. Fans and message boards and people on Twitter, they feed into the stuff like bulletin board material. But it's funny, a few years ago, an Auburn player said something ahead of the Iron Bowl, and they were like, the Bama fans were like, oh yeah, this bulletin board material here. And I'm like, wait, so now Bama really wants to win the Iron Bowl? I'm like, for the players, it's a game and you want to win it no matter what. It's like, who cares if somebody says something? It doesn't make you want to win this game anymore. You want to win the game no matter what anyway.
Think about this too. It's just like no player is going to go into this game and say, oh yeah, we're finna lose. Like what? No one just thinks that. I know I don't think that. Obviously there's chances and you have a chance to win no matter what no matter what team you're going against. And like you got to have that confidence. I mean, like you don't go again. You don't just go into a game thinking like, oh, we finna lose. You might as well not even play.
Yeah, you really have to feel that way every single week, and I think that's how most guys feel in the SEC every week. Is we're going out and we're going to win this game no matter what. Take me a little bit through where are you with school? We have the degree, we're working towards the degree. Where are you? Because I know you've been in the game a while now.
Yeah, still working towards the degree. I have a pretty rigorous degree, but we're definitely gonna get it in the fall.
Okay, I'm just checking because some guys, they get to their last year and it's like you take ballroom dancing and like library science, and then that's it and you're done. And it's like you can just focus on football. So you still got to focus pretty hard on the academic stuff, including football for now.
Yeah, but it's not too tedious unless you let it get behind. Then it's a problem. If you don't, then it's not that hard.
You seem like a way better student than I was, so I give you some
surprise.
Let me ask you this. We're talking with Jayson Jones from Auburn. What are you doing when you're not playing football? What do you do for fun?
I mean, I really don't be doing anything. I watch TV. I mean, I'll probably like trying to recover, like hot tub, cold tub, getting treatment, or I'm on the video game. I mean, I really don't do too much.
What's the last thing you watched? Movie, TV series, whatever, Netflix, anything like that?
Last thing I watched was this thing called Atlas. I was on Netflix, and it's about how AI is like taking over some stupid stuff like that. So,
was it good?
It was. I'd recommend it.
Okay, there we go. We get a 2 thumbs up from Jayson Jones on Atlas. You said you play video game. What games are you playing right now?
Call of Duty, MLB, FIFA. I mean, those are like the 3 main ones I like rotate in between. And a lot of people when I tell them FIFA, they're like, "You play FIFA?" So yeah, I play FIFA.
Oh, we froze there. We're good. Yeah, we're good. We'll keep rolling here. Real quick. So you said you play FIFA. What do you have a squad you play with?
I really don't play squad. So like I love rebuilding. So like even in the future, I want to become like a GM. So I love rebuilding teams from like bad teams to become like the best team in the world, and they're winning all these trophies, and that's my passion. I love doing stuff like that.
That's awesome. You mentioned video games. We're here just a couple of weeks away. The new NCAA video games coming out. How cool are you excited about? I assume you opted into the EA Sports. Are you excited to be? How excited are you to be in a video game?
Oh, I'm so excited! Look, man. Look, I'm in a video game. Do you understand how like crazy I'm in a video game? Like money aside, I don't care about none of that. Put me in the game for free. I don't care. Like I've been playing NCAA ever since I was a kid, and ever since it got canceled, like obviously I haven't been able to play it, and now I'm able to play it again. Like that was my childhood, and that's what I lived for, and that's what I used to play that one every time I got home from intermediate school or whatever. That's the first thing I hopped on was NCAA 14, 13, 12, whatever it was.
The thing that kind of sucks is it comes out the same week as SEC Media Day, so you guys don't really get much time to play it before the school and the season starts up.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna have it. We'll probably have it in like the lobby or something like during fall camp. Yeah. So we're definitely gonna be on that.
Yeah, Coach, or maybe they incorporate it. Maybe Coach Freeze goes, "Hey, look, this is the new play we've been working on. Let me show you on the video game." Maybe they could do that. It's that advanced now.
I really don't know how like the playbook would work. It would be crazy if they actually had our actual playbook in the game. That would be cool, but then that's also bad. And so
yeah, you want to keep that stuff a little bit of a secret. He is Jayson Jones. Let everybody know what you got going on. You got any? I know in this world of NIL, a lot of guys have their own ventures and things. What have you had kind of working in your time there at Auburn?
Yeah. So like right now, I'm building a business. I'm building just mainly around real estate, and I plan on doing affiliate marketing in the upcoming years. But those are like my really big passions, and like I'm always up for um, advice. Like I want to learn as much as I can because again, this is my passion. This is what I want to do.
Awesome. Do we have any Jayson Jones apparel out there? Can I get like a Jayson Jones t-shirt or something?
No, not yet, not yet. But if enough people ask, I'll do it. But not right now.
I'll pay $20 for it. Let's get that going. We'll get some get some Jayson Jones.
Yeah.
Maybe 30. We'll up the price a little bit. He is Jayson Jones. Jayson, thanks so much for the time. I really appreciate it, and best of luck this season. All right.
Thank you. War Eagle.
All right, that's Jayson Jones there of the Auburn Tigers. Really appreciate him taking some time out. And yeah, man, this series has been fun, kind of going around the SEC and connecting with different players. And we stop off in the Plains, and obviously a very smart guy there, and easy to root for him with the Auburn Tigers. And let's hope he has a fantastic season there. And even if you're not an Auburn fan, I think you could appreciate the conversation there. Thank you guys for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. And our everydayers, keep coming back and checking us out. Subscribe on YouTube and the podcast form, of course. And we're there for you multiple times a week and all throughout the season, 5 days a week. And we'll have full coverage from SEC Media Days coming up in a couple of weeks, and tons of great content, interviews. You want to make sure you're locked in. So thank you guys for making us your first listen. Now go make your second listen. Check out Locked On Sports today. There for you, streaming 24/7 on YouTube and on the Amazon Fire TV, free Fire TV channels app. It is Locked On Sports today. All the biggest sports stories in the sports world. I'm Chris Gordy. This has been Locked On SEC. Our thanks again to Jayson Jones. We'll talk to you guys coming up throughout this week.